Now, I might try and answer people questions. If I can't, I can't. So we're going to do this again. When read Eon Culver's Legend of Spud Murphy. No personal questions, not like that. Enjoy the book, enjoy the audiobook, and here we go. And this is 2004. This book came out. Let me know if you guys have read it. Put in the comments section, okay? Bye, guys. Enjoy the book. Chapter 1. Ugly Frank. I have got 4 brothers. Imagine that. 5 boys under 11 all live in the same house. On wet summer days, our house gets very crowded. If each bring 2 friends, if we each bring 2 friends home, then there could be 15 of us crammed into the house. At least 8 will be roaring like lunatics. Oh. And the rest will be dying to go to the toilet. The flushers on our toilet snaps off about one every 3 months. When my dad came home one day and found 3 sons and 4 strangers covered with war paint swinging on the bedroom curtains, he decided that something had to be done. It didn't help that the war paint was stolen from Mom's makeup box. No more bringing friends home, Dad declared after the warriors' parents had collected them. That's not fair, that said Marty, the biggest brother, mascara streaking his cheeks. That punishment really affects me because I'm popular. I'm famous. But Will's best friend is his action man. Will, that's me. I love that action man. Donnie, Bert, and HB start complaining too, but only because they are little brothers, and that's what little brothers do for a living. I know that technically I'm a little brother too, but I'm in the big brother half of the family. Having one little brother isn't bad enough. But having 3 is too much punishment. Wait, yeah. But having 3 is too much punishment for one person. That's enough punishment for an entire house development. The trouble with little brothers is that they are never blamed for anything. All Donnie, Bert, and HP have to do is bat their blue eyes and let their bottom lip wobble a bit, and they are forgiven for everything. Donnie, Bert, and HP could stick an axe in my head, and they did still get off with 10 minutes on no TV and stern look. And the only thing that Marty and I ever agree on is that our 3 younger brothers are spoiled rotten. This house is a madhouse, said Dad. He's the chief lunatic, I said, pointing to Marty. Alright, I didn't get to the good part. Okay, off you go, up the steps, and now they're going to the library. I'll just stay here to make sure you go inside, I growled quietly. Our plan had been to hide around the back for a few hours. Mom was smarter than we thought. We climbed the concrete steps to the library doors. I decided to go first because Mari told me to. You're probably wondering what we were so scared about. I bet you are thinking that we were a pair of gutless chickens who have been better off at home. Sewing our names onto the handkerchiefs, but that's because you think libraries are um happy, colorful places where the librarians actually like children. That may be what most of them are like, but this one was different. It was a place where serious men read serious books, and nobody was allowed to show even a glimmer of a smile. A smile could get you drawn out, tighter could get you sputted. And if you laugh aloud, you were never seen again. Alright, so let me get to the point. I like this one. Um, Here, then, okay. There was whole. Wait. Okay, wait a minute. Sorry. Mom says we have to join the library, I said, a full sentence. Not bad under the circumstances. That's all I need, grumbled Spud. Two more urchins messing up shelves. She took a pen and two cards from her drawer. Name. Sorry, name? Miss Murphy? I stammered. Spud sighed. Not my name. Wait, sorry, Spud sighed. Not my name, dummy. Your name's William and Martin Woodman. I shouted like an army cadet. Address? Oh, and our address was next. I was a bit worried about. Okay. Do not set off the carpet until you leave, she warned. Whatever boyish idea enters your head, ignore it. Stay on the carpet, or there will be trouble. She bent over almost double until her. Okay. Is that understood? I nodded. It was understood, no doubt about it. The test, chapter 3, the test. On the first day on the carpet, Marty decided that we should test Spud. When Spud said there would be trouble if he stepped off the carpet, what exactly did she mean? Did trouble mean a strict talking to? Or did trouble or did trouble mean being suspended by your fingernails over a pit of alligators? I need to know how much I can get away with, said Marty, tying his sweater around his neck like a bib. I don't need to know, I said, remembering the boy who had run past us in a hurry. I will just sit here and pretend to read. You are such a chicken, said Marty. No wonder Action Man is your only friend. I, on the other hand, am an actual hero type. I'm prepared to take risks. Why did you tie your sweater to your chest? Wait and see, chicken boy, said Marty. My big brother walked around the edge of the carpet and checked to see if Spud would spot him. She can't even see us, he said. We can do whatever we want. I was darned to get worried whenever a boy did something wrong. Grown-ups tended to blame the entire family. What are you going to do? I asked. Mari smiled. The best ways to mess with a librarian is to put things back in the wrong place. He rubbed his hands gleefully. They hate, they hate that. It drives them crazy. Marty was an expert on messing with librarians. There have been several notes from the school library, so I'm just going to switch a few books for Miss Spud Murphy by the time she finds out. We will be home watching cartoons. Marty lay on his stomach and wiggled out. Onto the wooden floor, he glided across the polished planks on a double layer of wool. I had to admit, Marty was a master like a crocodile swimming down the Nile. Marty slid to the nearest bookshelf with a With barely a sound, he climbed onto the bottom shelf, and perched there, motionless. There was only one other person at this end of the library, a short man with gray hair and bushy eyebrows. Marty waited till he moved away before he began causing mischief. One book at a time, he switched almost every single book in the section. He put mystery with romance, adventure with big bird watching, and garden with model airplanes. Spud would be furious. To make matters worse, Marty started to swap the reference sheets at the end of each shelf. These pages told the reader what kind of book was on the particular or the original shelf. Marty reached up slowly and tore the sheet from the clip that held it. Suddenly, a shadow fell across my brother. It was big, sharp shadow and belonged to a big, sharp person. Okay. Marty had seen her and was still holding the reference page. It was too late to warn him. There was nothing I could do. Spud's left hand moved with lightning speed, grabbing a book, stand rolling it. One smooth, precious motion. It turned it. It turned. It tumbled through the air so fast and that it hissed. Marty turned his just in time so to see the block of wood and rubber head in his direction. It was too late to move out of the way. Okay, wait, wait. I'm sorry, Spoo, uh, Miss Murphy. Will never learn. I never leave the carpet again. Spud slid across the floor on her slippers. Too late for that. Since you are already off the carpet, you can fix the damage you have done. And there are hundreds of books. I can't remember them all. Spud ran a finger along the shelf. Each book has a number. This section starts at number 560. She plucked a book from the shelf. Here's it. Here it is. I have started you off. You get these in order by the time your mother comes to pick you up. And maybe I won't have to tell her how you set off the fire alarms. Wait, what? Marty's mouth flapped, but I didn't. Spud put her hands on her lips. I know you didn't, and I'm sure your mother will believe that, as of course you will have been in trouble before. Mari thought about it for a moment, then began rearranging books as fast as he could. He knew when he did met his match. 2 hours, 14 paper cuts later, Marty was finished. He sat on the carpet, sucking his fingers. Alright, here we are. That wasn't so bad, he said on the way to the exit. I had teachers meaner than her. Marty was actually getting cocky or crazy again. Marty, don't you remember the rubber stamp? She nearly took her head off. Um, yes, that was cool. She must practice 4 hours. Do you think she will really say that? I set off the fire alarms. I don't care, I said. I just want to get out of here. Marty had started to wander over towards Spud. I couldn't believe it. Mom was outside. Waiting in the car, I could see her through the swing doors. Mom was what? Okay, waiting in the car, I could see her through the doors. Whatever. Swinging doors. Gosh, please. Swinging doors. We were almost safe, and Marty was going over to the librarian's desk. Excuse me, Miss Murphy. Spud's head swiveled slowly like a tank gun. Her eyes landed on Marty. Marty Woodman, back for more? I would have thought you did keep well away from me. Just one question, Miss Murphy. You wouldn't really say I set off the alarms, would you? Spud smiled back at Marty. Her teeth looked like a row of icicles. Oh, when I don't think so. Throwing a stamp is one thing. That was cool, by the way. You like that? Did you, Martin? Sure did. Spud opened the box on her desk. I have a collection of stamps here. One came in last week. You might like it. You may like. It's in the shape of a pirate flag. Yeah, right. Sorry. A lot of the boys like me to stamp it on their forearms like a temporary tattoo. She began to close the box, but maybe you're too young. Marty was already rolling up his sleeve. No, I did love that on my arm. Wait until the guys at the swim pool see this. Bud selected a stamp, inking it on a blue pad. Are you sure, Martin? This won't wash off for a couple of weeks. I'm sure. Stamp away. Well, if you're sure. Spud smiled, winded, winded. Okay then, keep still. The librarian rolled the rubber stamp across Mari's forearm, across and back 3 times. When she removed the stamp, we leaned in to examine the pirate flag. Only it wasn't a pirate flag. It was a short sentence of 3 words. Oh my gosh. The words were, I love Barbie. Oops, said Spud. Sorry, oops, said Spud. Wrong stamp. Sorry about that. Marty couldn't speak. If anyone saw those words on his forearm, he did be teased for all eternity. You boys had better hurry up, said Spud, placing the stamp back in the box. One more thing. Any more of your little games, I get nasty. There are worse things in this desk than rubber stamps. We walked to the door. Marty held his arm in front of him as though it belonged to someone else. Spud called to him as he opened the door. Oh, Martin, she said, enjoy swimming. Uh-oh. A good book. For the few visits I sat on the carpets, pretending to read. I sat there until I felt sure the pattern from that faded old carpet, had transferred itself onto my bottom. Mari spent most of the time licking his forearm, but it was no use. The stamp didn't fade, and now he had a blue tongue too. Sometimes Mom arrived early to take us home and would catch me pretend to read. Now there's a sight to make Now there's a sight to make any mother smile. She said, I knew you would love reading if you would give it a try. That was it. That was it. We were doomed. There 3 afternoons a week. Mom decided we would spend 2 hours in the library. So 3 times a week we pretended to read quietly. Sometimes we forgot to be quiet, and then Spud would pay the children's section a visit. I remember the first time it happened, we were arguing over who owned the air in our bedroom. I said, I said that Marty owned the air on his side of the room, but he said that he owned the air at ground level. This meant that I would have to climb onto the top bunk just to breathe. Suddenly, a familiar shadow fell across the carpet, making me shiver. Spud stood there, feet apart, belt laid down with rubber stamps without saying a thing. She pulled out a large flash card from her pocket. On the flash card was written the words, "Shh." We got the message. We couldn't fight, we couldn't shout, we couldn't make loud bodily noise. All the things young boys live for. Oh, the boredom. My head felt like it would fall off and spin across the wooden floor. I tried everything to entertain myself, watching movies in my head, falling apart in my carpet, prison, eating strips of paper from the books, but most of all, I just dreamed of freedom. Then one day, something strange happened. I was pretending to read a book called Finn McCoy, the Giant of Ireland, when something caught my eye. It was the first sentence of the story. Finn McCoy, it said, was the biggest giant in Ireland. There was something about that sentence it was interesting, and I decided to read a bit more. I wouldn't read the whole book. No way, but maybe just another couple of sentences. Finn had a problem, said the book. Angus MacTavish, the biggest giant in Scotland, wanted to fight him. Oh gosh. Wow, I couldn't stop now. Two giants fighting? Maybe I did just see how that turned out. So I read to the end of the page and then I kept reading, right on reading. Before I knew it, I was lost in the tale of Finn McCoy and Angus MacTavish. There was adventure and magic and battles and clever cleavers, plans, mountains, explosions, and wizards and slew goblins, magic goats, talk, and princesses turned into swans. It was another world. Ready to go? Said a voice. I looked up. It was Mom. What are you doing here? I asked. There were shopping bags in Mom's hands. What do you think I'm doing here? It's time to go. The I hugged the book to my chest. But we just got here. I stopped talking. I stopped talking because I had spotted the wall clock. It was 5 o'clock. I had been reading a book for almost 2 hours and I looked across at Marty. He was still reading a book with a picture of a dragon on the cover. What was going on here? Come on now, your dad will be waiting. Complete to my complete amazement, I realized that I didn't want to leave my book behind. And neither did Marty. But Mom, yes, Marty, I haven't finished my book. Neither have I. Mom put down the shopping bag and gave us both a big hug right out in public. It's a good thing our friends didn't hang out in libraries. Do you think huh? Miss Murphy would let us bring them home? Mom, pick up the bags. Of course, you have your cards, don't you? Wait, what? Okay, chapter 5, Off the Carpet. For weeks, everything was wonderful. We had the time of our lives. Every new book opened the door to a new world. We floated down the great Mississippi River with Huckleberry Finn. Robin Hood taught us how to shoot a bow and how to shoot a bow and arrow. We caught burglars with the famous five instinct of the dump gave us 4 building tips. Spud Murphy generally left us alone. So long as we return our books on time. And didn't make any noise on the carpet. A few times she had show us the flashcard, but we never got up to any real mischief until one day we ran out of books so to read. We had to read everything twice, even the Nancy Drew mysteries. We sat on the carpet, read in the boredom that would soon set in. It wasn't fair. Marty was so bored he was licking his forearm again. Even though the Barbie stand was long gone, he stopped licking to complain. He stopped licking to complain. What are we going to do? Um what are we going to do? He moaned. I can't sit here for 6 hours a week with no books. Me either. Sorry, me neither. It's such a tragedy. The adventure section is right over there. The adult venture section, we only have pink cards, remember? I know, but if one of us just had the guts to go over there, one book is all we need to get us through the afternoon. I covered my head with a book. No way. Don't even ask. I'm not listening. Mari crawled over to me. Oh, come on. I can't go. Spud has her eyes on me. But what about the Spud gun? Mari pinched my cheek. You're the cute one. If Spud catches you, she probably give us a lollipop. No, Mari. No, Mari, I whispered in case Spud heard. I will let you breathe my air in the bedroom. No, I will let you hang around with me and the boys. I don't want to hang around with you. I will tell you where Action Man is buried. I gasped. Action Man is buried? I have been so distracted with my books that I hadn't even noticed he was missing. Um, Mari knew he had me. Yes, somewhere in the garden. The big garden? I did say the worms are starting to nibble on him around now. What choice did I have? Action Man? I'm sorry, Action Man need me. I did really want something to read. Okay, Mari, I guess. I will go, but only today. If you want a book on Wednesday, you will have to go yourself. Marty patted me on the shoulders. That's fair, he said. Now, off you go. I want something really exciting. I put one foot off the carpet onto the wooden floor. It creaked like a bat squealing. Second later, Spud skated around the corner, her slippers gliding over the polished planks. Shh, said her card. Sorry, I whispered. Spud's beetle eyes squinted at us suspiciously, but she continued onto the romance section. I knew you couldn't do it, chicken boy, said Marty. Not even when Action Man is counting on you. I stuck my tongue out at Marty. I wasn't being yet. Not not with Action Man buried in the garden. I would show Mari that I was no chicken boy. I strip off my shoes and socks, take off my socks and shoes, and try again. With almost care, I lower my foot, onto the boards like a mouse, testing a trap. No creak, just beautiful silence. This could work. There were no adults at this point of the library. At this end of the library, sorry. So I only had Spud to worry about. I took one little step, then one more. Every book knows that. Sorry, every boy knows that if you want to cross the floor silently, then stick close to the wall. I stuck so close that I could almost feel my shadow tickling my back. Inch by inch, I made my way toward the venture section. Every patch of skin on my body was sweating. It felt as much as it felt as though my teeth were sweating. What would Spud Murphy do if she caught me? Would I would I get the stamp or the spud gun? Spud gun, I guess. After all, Marty had already received a family warning. A ladder blocked my way. A library a library ladder with wheels on the top. I need this ladder to reach the adventure books. Gently I wheeled it across along the shelf. Toward the adventure section, it didn't squeak once Spud kept her ladders well oiled. I could see the books now, just out of reach. I climbed the ladder slowly, waiting for the creak that would bring Spud run. One step, then two step. One step, then two, and three, high enough to reach for a book. I made myself as tall as I could, stretching from the tip of my big toe, my foot. I could stretch. Wait, what? The point of my index finger. I took a book, um, of my trousers, to see all that remained was the return journey to the carpet. The trip back was as scary as wait. The trip back was as scary. I was sweating so much that I began to feel thirsty. The distance between me and the carpet seemed 10 times longer than it had on the way over. And even in every tiny sound I made echoed around the high walls, but I couldn't stop now. If I did, Spud would surely catch me on her next round. Then I would be suspended for sure. So I took step after sweaty step until the ladder was back in its place. I was safe on the carpet. Marty pulled the book out of my trousers. Well done. Well, I didn't think you had it in you. Now tell me, I demand, where is Action Man buried? Marty grinned. In the toy box, sucker. I mean, yeah. Where he always is. My big brother had tricked me again. But I was too revealed to be angry. We took a look at the book cover Spy in a Sabrina, it said across the top in gold letters. Underneath there was a picture of a man skiing down a snowy mountain. Spud tell from 100 yards that this was no kid's book. So Marty borrowed a cover from one of the children's books and folded it over Spy's in Sabira. I pulled my shoes and socks back on, and then we'd read happily for the rest of the afternoon. Those spies had a few time had a fine time with their fast cars and parachutes, and kissing every girl they met. I could have done without the kissing, but the rest was great. It was the first time I had ever been this close to Marty for any length of time. without an argument, breaking out at 4:40, 4:30. Marty had hid spies in Siberia. Behind a row of Eden Belytons, whatever, and we settled back to wait for Mom. I have to admit that I was feeling very pleased with myself. I hadn't outwitted the famous Bud Murphy. Her tracking skills have been no match for my brain. I was the king of the library, or was I? Suddenly, Spud glided around the corner. On her woolly slippers, she skidded to a stop before us, sniffing the air like one of those mean pit bull dogs. Her eyebrows seemed even higher than usual. Something's not right. Something's not right, she said in her rust metal voice. We smiled instantly those boys, like most boys. We did a great innocent smile. Spud glared at us. Innocent smiles don't. And innocent smiles don't work on me, little men, unless you really are innocent, which I doubt. I could feel my smile shrinking like a banana being gobbled up from both ends. Stay calm, I told myself. 30 minutes and Mom will be here to save us. Spud skated around the library floor in large circles looking for something out of place. Her eyes, her eyes flitted across the polished wood like an eagle searching for a mouse. Finally, she came to the spot where I had started my journey. She skated past it. Woo! Woo! Then stopped and turned back. Oh no! Something had caught Spud's eye. Something in the exact spot where I had stood. She bent low to the ground and followed my path to the ladder. Convince, whispered Marty from the corner of his mouth. Don't worry. Don't worry, Spud placed one hand on the ladder, pushing it along the shelves. She stopped at the adventure section. This couldn't be happened. The librarian climbed to the third step and reached out one knobby finger. The finger pointed to a space on the shelf. Aha, she said. I couldn't believe it. She must have some magical powers. I was in deep trouble, the deepest. Spud climbed down and skated over to the carpet. She stopped before us and said 3 words. Spies in Severa. I tried my innocent smile and pardon. Wait, I tried my innocent smile again. Pardon? Spies in Severa. One of you took it from the adventure section, handed over. By now, I was too scared to speak actual words. I did manage to shake my head no. The shake said it wasn't me. Mari did a bit better. I would never ignore library rules and leave the children's section. He said, straight face, that would be wrong. My parents would be so disappointed. Spud squinted at us through beetle eyes. So, that's the way it is, she said. Okay. Then I want both of you to lie down. We obey. With deft movements, she whipped off our shoes and socks. She studied our bare feet and eventually settled on me. Stand up, she ordered. I did, as I was told. What you if Spud Murphy was looming over you? Wait, what? When you if Spud Murphy was looming over you? Spud tucked her hands under my arms, lifting my 15-inch straight up in the air. I think it was I think it was you, William, she said, because you left a trail. What trail? I couldn't have left a trail. Uh-oh. Spud glided over to the wall where I had begun my journey and set me down right on my own sweaty footprints. I had left a trail all right, a trail of drying footprints. Now, she said sternly, and over spies in Siberia, I was caught, fair and square. The evidence was against me. What could I do but return the book and beg for mercy? I trudged back to the children's section and took my borrowed book from the shelves. Marty shook his head in disgust. Shame on you, he said. How could you break library rules? I ignored him, too busy, wondering what terrible punishment Spud would inflict on me. Here, I said, handing her Spies and Serrera. Spud shook her head in wonder. Why did you do it? Aren't you terrified? Why did you do it? Aren't you terrified of me? All the other children are. At that moment, I made the best decision of the afternoon. I told her the truth, or at least some of it. I wanted a book. I said in a shaky voice. I had read all the other books. I had read all the other ones, most of them twice. I had to get a book, even though you knew I might catch you. My bottom lip was trembling like jello. It was worth the risk, right? Said Spud. Stand in front of my desk. I have something for you, and it's not a rubber stamp. Oh no, the gas-powered Spud gun. I was going to get spudded. Time to beg. But Spud raised her hand. No buts. You are going to get what you deserve. Go on in front of my desk. Uh-oh. I walked to the desk, more frightened than I had ever in my life. This was it. The end of my time as a cute kid. From today on, I'll be I will be known as the Weird Will. The spud-faced kid, it was too much. I closed my eyes so I wouldn't see it coming. My ears kept right on working, supplying noises for my imagination. I had pictures too. Behind me, Marty was still making tisk tisk sound disgust. As I thought I had let him down in front of me, I heard Spud broon around in her desk drawer. She was probably loading the spun gun, picking a really hard potato. Open your eyes, she ordered. No, I moaned. I can't. Come on, William Woodman. Look at what I have got for you. I took a deep breath and opened my eyes. Instead of the barrel of a spud gun, there was a blue card in front of my eyes. Like behind huh. Behind the card was Spud's face. She was smiling and her teeth didn't remind me of high school anymore. They looked friendly. A blue library card, she said. Blue means adults. Adult. Blue means you can go anywhere you want in the library. All I ask is that You show me any adult books you pick so I can check if they are suitable for you. I was amazed. Could you could Spud be rewarding me for breaking the rules? Oh, why? I stammered. Spud smiled again. It quite suited her because you left the carpet for a book, not to cause mischief, huh? Book books are what this library is for. Sometimes even I forget that. Wow, I had done something good by accident. Wait till mom heard about this. Spud winked at me. Maybe it's time I expanded the children's section and got rid of that carpet. I thought about it. Maybe you could leave the carpet where it is, but just as somewhere to sit. Spud put on her hand. It's a deal. I shook her bony hand, winking and shaking, handshaking. Maybe aliens had abducted a librarian and left this Bud shaped robot in her place. Miss Murphy, seeing as we are so friendly now, would it be okay if I call you Spud? Oh gosh. The librarian put her free hand under the desk. She twisted something, and whatever she had under there began to hiss gently. We would just try it once, Woodman, and see what happens. I backed away slowly. Maybe I would just wait for Mom pet on the carpet. Good idea. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely, after Marty's terrible behavior, I would stay well out of his reach. Well, you are nearly right. I did stay out of his reach, but about 15 inches out of his reach. I stood a yard off the carpet and waved the blue adult card at him. Get me a book, he begged. After that action man trick you pulled, forget it. Come on, you can breathe the bedroom air. Well, okay, I said, and brought him Roses in Autumn from the romance section. Not this one, he cried, reading the back cover. I don't want a book about someone called Penelope. I was already halfway up the venture section, and I cupped one hand around my ear, as I thought I couldn't hear him, and he didn't dare shout. When I glanced Marty's way, a few minutes, that's nice. A few minutes later, he was 20 pages into the romance novel. At 4:10, a horn beeped 3 times outside. One long beep, two short beeps, our signal. Mom was waiting. We quickly chose books to take home. Marty was borrowing Rose and Autumn. There's a lot of sword fighting, he said as Spud stamped my book too and slipped my blue library card into a little envelope. You know, Will, now that we are so friendly, maybe you could call me Angela. Maybe you could call me Angela. I tucked my book under one arm. See you Wednesday, Angela, I said. Spud smiled. See you Wednesday. Well, and she did. Well, the end. Oh, there's more to this book type thing. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I know usually these videos would be more interesting, I feel, but by now I have to do these odd books and those retro games, or mostly Xbox games, gonna be from now on, okay? I'm sorry about today. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for listening to my audiobook. I appreciate it. And have a good night. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Bye. Peace.